Hey guys, welcome back and happy Sunday. I wanted to say thank you again for everyone who's joining our memberships. I already saw the list of people coming in, and I think that's absolutely incredible. We dropped our first behind the scenes video, and it was from our trip to Salt Lake City. It was getting ready for the Jen Shah interview, everything in between, from getting to the airport to getting back home and what we did right after we got back home. You guys will see it. If you check it out, you can check it out through memberships. But anyways, that's not what we're back to talk about today. We're actually back to talk about bad news, sad news, really, for Kyle Richards, because she claims she cannot move after suffering a back injury. So thank you to Page 6 for giving us all of the details and other major media outlets, to be fair. But before we jump in, you guys know how this works. If you haven't already, go ahead, smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, let's jump right in.
It's time for all your binge-worthy pop culture news. Welcome to Up and Adam.
All right, guys. So yesterday we talked about Jennifer Aydin, who was talking about how pissed off she was because she fractured her toe while she was in Mexico for Teresa Giudice's birthday party. Now, when it rains, it pours. And I feel like it's just happening all over the different franchises because Kyle Richards cannot move after suffering a back injury. And she revealed this on Thursday with a snapshot of her laying in a bed. She put this out on social media. And to be fair, back injuries are some of the worst. So this is nothing, I'm reading Twitter and people are like, this is karma. That's not karma. This is why Twitter is like a rabbit hole to go down and you just see all of the negative stuff. It's so hard for me to go on Twitter sometimes. I hurt my back and cannot move. And this is what she captioned the shot of her lunch tray consisting of tomato soup and broccolini. And she said, this is where I'll be for the unforeseeable future. Now, when it comes to a back injury, you don't really know how that's going to play out. Some people might not know this, but Jason's brother, he actually suffered a back injury about 2 years ago, and he's still struggling with it. It's hard to ride in cars for long periods of time. It's hard to fly. It's hard to get up and walk around. It's hard to just feel like your normal self. So this is just, there's a lot of bad luck happening on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills right now, or for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, really. Now, you could see that she was laid up in bed, her feet are covered, there's a television playing, but she has yet to reveal what actually caused the injury. But she did go on to say that her dogs and her German Shepherds, her family, they haven't left her side throughout this whole process. But we really want to know, and this is the one thing that I agree with Twitter and what's being said, what actually happened? Did you overextend yourself? Were you working out? Did you fall? Like, what is actually the reason that this happened? And when you say you cannot move, that's pretty heavy to say. So to what extent, I think some people get back injuries and they're paralyzed for the rest of their life. So yeah, in the actual post, she captioned, these babies won't leave my side, not even to eat or use the bathroom, #German Shepherds. So it looks like, okay, she has support. She also acknowledged what a bad idea it was for her to watch some comedy shows, and she giggled at Bridesmaids, but that's not the whole point of this conversation. Maybe not the best thing to watch when I cannot move. Now, the housewife recently claimed that she's unsure if she'll be back for another season of the show, telling E! News last month that I always say I don't know. And each season, I think, well, maybe I can do one more. I've already commented on this. I don't see Kyle Richards walking away from the franchise only because, and hear me out, she's the last remaining OG of the franchise. She gets paid a fat check to be on it. And whatever she does on the show, she's allowed to promote her businesses like Kyle X Shahida, her new store in Palm Desert. Whatever she does, it helps her make money in whatever other businesses she has. It even helps Maurizio with the agency. She said, and sometimes I'm just like, how can I keep doing this? Especially when I get really upset, like the last season that ended and how it ended. Now, for Kyle Richards, she's not the only one who's going through some hard times on the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And we will be back, of course, this week covering it all, mentioning it all, but it's all across the board. Normally, when they say that, the housewives come out and they do press tours and they're like, this is going to be the craziest season ever. Jason and I were having this conversation, and this season just feels really heavy and dark, just like last season. But last season really heavily revolved around Erica Girardi. Now this season, we have the situation with Crystal Kungnikov claiming that Sutton Strack made a dark, very problematic comment. And then we talked about the kids in the pool, and that's what Sutton said that this was about. Crystal kind of acknowledged that that could have been what it was because she looked at Garcelle across the table and she said, you don't find that to be problematic? And Garcelle kind of clapped back by saying, that's not as dark as what I thought you were going to say or what you even alluded to. So we have Sutton's reputation hanging on a line. Then Crystal went on Watch What Happens Live and she said, that's not actually the problematic story. I'm not going to mention the problematic story. The problematic story that I was referring to, I've already addressed with Sutton Strack. We put it to bed. She apologized. So we're just going to leave it at that. The only problem here is now it's been put out there and there's no closure. So fans all over the place are slamming Sutton and now also Crystal because Crystal didn't give any closure to the situation. But that's not it. Of course, on top of having Kyle Richards now not able to move, we have Lisa Rinna and her story with her mom, who unfortunately suffered a seizure and then had to go into hospice. And then later she passed, which, all right, that's unfortunate, terrible, sad, and my heart breaks for her, even though, again, reading social media, it's a rabbit hole and everyone's bashing her and saying that's karma, which I don't agree with at all in any capacity. And then over here, we have Erica Girardi, who's talking about her storyline this season is somehow mixing some of her medication to get through whatever she needs to get through, but also mixing that with alcohol, claiming that she doesn't have a problem. It was just a lapse of judgment and she's fine now. Okay. Right. And then let's just keep going down the line. At the end of this season, there are claims from Lisa Rinna that Kathy is a homophobic racist. And I don't know. My only question here is I read on All About the Real Housewives where, you know, they said potentially it was like a blind item saying that Lisa Rinna doesn't have to share too much about her own storylines as long as she digs into other people's, which now I'm starting to maybe believe that. Because when I'm looking at this, I'm like, well, she doesn't talk too much about her own life. Of course, she's going to talk about Lois, but how, when most of the housewives aren't really allowed to tweet about each other, they're not allowed to go in on each other for the most part. It's a part of their contracts, unless it's about something that's in the scene. How is she allowed to just go out and put stuff out there like homophobic racist? And then when she retracted the statements, it made me wonder, did Kathy send a cease and desist? Because that could have easily have happened. Guys, I want to hear what your thoughts are on all of this. I don't want to just give you my opinion. Again, it's Sunday, so I know a lot of people are taking a break, taking a rest, and that's exactly what you deserve to do. Go have some bottomless mimosas, enjoy your family, join our memberships if you like, and go check out the behind the scenes from our trip to Salt Lake City, because I want to hear your opinions. We'll be back tomorrow for Hot Messy Topics. Yes, that's right. Hot Messy Topics are back Mondays and Fridays. And then, of course, the Real Housewives of Dubai recap and the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I'm so happy that we have 4 lives again a week. Of course, on top of that, we have all of our pre-records. So we're going to be really busy and we're working on some more interviews to bring your way. Love you guys. Don't forget to smash that like button. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. And with that, we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.